Listen, about to tell a story inspired by my opa and Gottlob, my opa's fallen brother. God bless. Uh, yeah, listen, they don't want us to know knowledge is power. They don't want to acknowledge the lost hours of our people that would sit with a rifle on top of towers, had their lives taken, now designated to a flower, while the people that were calling the shots still holding the power. And if anybody would step up, they get devoured. Somos people look the other way like they're Persians. Peace treaties being signed before the war, was it worth it? Active to this day, the rest invaded by the Germans. History repeats itself, dictators versus insurgents, while soldiers on the fields getting bullets pulled by the surgeons. Sad they didn't make it, couldn't see behind the curtains. Those that did knew that they're doing the devil's workings, leaving kids hurting, from Iraqis to Serbians, Pakis to Germans, Brits to the French, from Slovakis to Shermans. Political systems turning good men to vermins. Cogs stay turning, but still we never learn it. Educated in the field of Satan's conversion, now the working class carry the most blatant of burdens. Look, free up my prisoners in Cuba. Hiroshima babies mutated by the sutures. The POWs locked down like they ain't got no futures. Ex-military men, frontline shooters, the mean to be nothing but smelly corpses that's useless. We're soldiers on the field and our digits on a computer, but aren't these men supposed to be protected by the state? And when the soldiers left behind, are you supposed to get them right away? Ain't that the art of war? And if you can't back for your people, makes me question what you started for. Anyway, this ain't Guantanamo Bay. Men forced and enslaved, women tortured and raped. Pull that shit here, we put a pitchfork in your brain. That distortion is pain. Gottlob fought for the socialists, and his best friend from school fought for the Soviets. I know you know how that goes. Fought together against the Polish, then the order came. Picked up his blade, he had to open him. Fucked with his brain, so he started smoking opium. Questioning the moral code of his co-workers. Convinced by the Germans that what he was doing was protecting his persons at home, while his brother was picking up shells hurting. Counting days waiting till he could see him returning. Little did he know that he'd never see him again. Still 4 motherfucking years before the war ends, and Valto's patiently waiting, but Golub's already dead. Operation Barbarossa invaded the Soviet Union, and all the soldiers knew going into it was stupid. The power's gone to their head. Now why the fuck would we do this? And only now would he begin to question his movement. It started hateful rabbis, now we're betraying allies. The Brits, they were against it, we're disregarding their advice. Took Greece and Yugoslavia, think that shit they were abscess. And his car, he's nervous, never done an operation that size. Fuck it, here we go, so just pick up your MP40s, and on the side just mark everybody, start moving forward. Need you men at your best, cause mistakes we cannot afford them. Made our way to the battlefield early morning. Sickening anxiety, cold sweats is daunting. Sergeant making speeches about why we can't forfeit. Saying we made a plan, now it's time to enforce it. Tread through the trenches, quiet as dawn says. Shh. Hold up, he hears a voice, so he stalks it. Sees a rush around the corner, leaves him dead by the doorstep. Leaving behind another corpse that will haunt him. Before he gets caught up, he hears Sergeant calling. Looks up in the sky, fucking Russian Air Forces shit. Everybody on the floor, be cautious. Bombs started dropping, limbs started to scatter. Shit so fucking loud I can't hear the radio chatter. Talking to the general, man, we really need backup. Shit is getting critical, watching the body stack up. Rounds exit the rifle, he shot his last bullet. He felt that little click as the trigger, he went to pull it. He's getting no responses, his radio's only static. Lying in his trench, man, he's really starting to panic. Troops survey the area, letting off automatics. Gathering his thoughts, cause his mind's getting erratic. Thinking if his mother found out he's going to be tragic. Though we had the upper hand, man, it's really changed the dynamics. Lying there helpless, he couldn't help but thinking, where the fuck's the team that was on the radio listening? And he had a realization, was struck by his intuition. They don't really give a fuck about him. War is just a business. Russian soldiers came, he was almost happy to see him. wondering why the fuck he's here fighting with Europeans. Took him to the base with the Germans, SS and Marquis, many familiar faces, though it matters now hardly. Seen his men in prison, were taken back to his army, men that he once respected, anorexic and starving, beaten, abused and raped while they're picking crumbs off the carpet, bodies filling the cells, they won't clean up a single carcass, a stench getting disgusting, the feeling overwhelming. Our leader wanted to turn on co-defendants, we helped him. He wanted to get rid of elders and cripples, we helped him. He tried to take our country and make us slaves, and we helped him. He made Godlob take the life of his best friend, and he helped him. And even then he kept moving forward, not asking questions. For all his years of loyalty, this is his fucking welcome. Sitting in this cage and he's feeling so fucking helpless, realizing what he's done when he thought he was being selfless, thought he's serving his country. Turns out the guy that's in charge is actually from Hungary. It's kind of funny. All this mass destruction in means of power and money. Didn't have the choice to be there, and still yet he served it fondly. Shit seemed like something honorable in protection, yet funnily enough was sinister, reveals only when stated bluntly. Manipulation of truth to a people proud of their country, when truth is ugly. Twist the world views in an interlude of combustion, lustful need for power, political insecurity, delusional dysfunction bestowed on people like you and me, masses indoctrinated through the Great Depression. Some of them survived, some are serving a larger sentence, spend their life on the field and yet they never got to reach home, nor never got to be known. Risk their life for others and missed it like a Shaq free throw. Their leaders sat in the office while they kicked heads like Aikido. Times have changed but style of war's the same if you ask me though. Jews hanging from trees, no mercy was shown, made gas and asses like it's amino. Prisoners of war and that's no nutrition like keto, and we got it all on paper, but what in the fuck do we know about the truths in our history? Documentation shit to me. We can paint that picture vividly. What about what we didn't see? Gotta see it realistically. The hecklers from the Germans, Berettas shipped in from Italy. The soldiers got the weapons, went off on a killing spree. And then the war ended. What the fuck? You know what I mean? The only power that holds now was in his fucking sentence. Lost family members, ancestors of all of us, man.